This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Can you able to hear us all right?
I can hear you fine, Brian.
We have you as well. We will have opening remarks from Kelly McCrimmon, and then we will open up to questions. Kelly, we'll hand it over to you now.
This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you, Brian. Yesterday, the team completed a trade with the New York Rangers where we traded Ryan Reaves to the Rangers for a third-round pick in the 2022 draft. This was the culmination of different discussions that I had with Ryan over the past few days in terms of what might make the most sense for him in the future, what might make the most sense where we are with our team and the number of forwards that we have. And it ended that, this was, I think, a pretty good outcome. I believe there's a real good chance that Ryan could get extended in New York for next year, which was important to him. It's important to me that he has that opportunity. New York have shown a lot of interest in him for an extended period of time. And we weren't comfortable that we could make that move. So it was pushed off. And as time went on, from the hockey club's perspective, we thought maybe it was a discussion that would be worth having. We did that, and the outcome was a trade to New York for Ryan. And very popular player with our fans, very popular player in our dressing room, player that I am real proud of the man he is. I believe I said in my my quote in the press release, I've known him for many, many years and watched him grow from a young player in the Western League to a very respected NHL player that played great hockey for us in Vegas. I think played his best hockey of his NHL career with us. So wish him nothing but the best. Really hopeful that he does very well. And from our standpoint, the depth of our forwards is part of this. The roles and responsibilities we're looking to fill are part of this. And that was what it went into the decision from both the hockey club standpoint and then again just discussions with Reaver. Other news with respect to the hockey team, Alex Tuch underwent successful shoulder surgery. He will have a lengthy recovery process. There's no issue with his recovery. He will recover fully, but we're likely looking at a time frame of around 6 months for his recovery. And with the, any recovery of that length, there's a lot of variables along the way. So that may change, but wanted to have at least a time frame there so that people had an idea of his availability. And, he'll rehab in Vegas under the care of our doctors, had his surgery in Vegas with Dr. Jim Detling, our team doctor, and expected to recover well, as I said. So he won't be with us for the early stages of the season, well into the season, in fact. And that would be the other news that I wanted to share with the media here today. I'd open it up for questions on either of those two topics.
That's your question for Kelly McCrimmon. Please use the raise hand function at the bottom of your screen. That will get you in queue. We'll start with a question from Ben Goetz, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Go ahead, Ben.
Hi, Kelly. Can you give us an idea when Alex injured his shoulder and when the surgery was performed?
The surgery was performed on July 21st, I believe, 21st or 22nd. The injury isn't traced to a specific incident. It was an issue where his shoulder was giving him trouble during the year. When the season ended, no one anticipated that it was going to be real serious or lead to surgery. Alex went away for, I think, a week, kind of thought it would settle down during that period of time, got back to Vegas, and it still was bothering him. And then when we did the diagnostics on the shoulder, it was pretty clear that he had an injury that needed to be surgically repaired. So it wasn't, I think he would tell you it wasn't an injury that really any of us expected to have this outcome. It wasn't an injury that hindered his play in the playoffs, but it's a shoulder injury that's not uncommon to hockey players. And again, that in part gives us more comfort that this is not out of the norm. It's going to be a full recovery, but it does take time. These injuries take time, especially this type of surgery.
Again, to ask a question, please use the raise hand function at the bottom of your screen. We'll go to Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun. Go ahead, Justin.
Hey, Kelly, obviously your job is to do what's best for the hockey team, but Marc-Andre Fleury and Ryan Reaves were two of the fan favorites. Just how hard was that aspect of the job when it came to moving them off of the team?
Well, it's never easy, and both great people that were fan favorites, and I had good relationships with both. I have a lot of respect for both players, and at the same time, as I've touched on, our job is to do the best things we can for the organization to help our team win. I think our fans like winning hockey teams. We've done a lot of that in our 4-year existence in Las Vegas. We, I think, do what we can to put the best team on the ice, make the best decisions with our personnel. It factored into the re-signing of Alec Martinez, who has taken on a tremendous leadership role with our team since his arrival. We've got a lot of good people in our dressing room, a lot of really good people in our dressing room. And, I look at the quiet leadership of a Braden McNabb. You look at Jonathan Marchessault, the energy that he brings to the rink every day. Neither of those players wear letters on our team, but they're both tremendously important to our leadership group. Riley Smith, who's, widely respected in our locker room, Petrangelo, Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty. I mean, I could go on and on. I think we've got a lot of really good pros in our room. And I think that, I don't anticipate any issue that way as we head into next season.
Do we have any more questions for General Manager Kelly McCrimmon? We do. We'll go to David Shane, Vegas Review-Journal. Go ahead, David.
Hi, Kelly. I was going to ask a similar question. I'm kind of curious from your answer, just from the standpoint of, kind of more of a fun-loving guy. Obviously, Fleury was, Holden was, Reaves was. Is that a dynamic that's changed in the locker room? Is that something, an element that needs to be there?
There's lots of guys on our team that are fun-loving. Lots of guys on our team that are fun-loving that you guys would never see that side of. The players that you mentioned were very outgoing. They would show that to you regularly. But again, it sounds like a similar question to the one that I just answered. So I guess I'll be more. I'll say it with more conviction. I believe very strongly in the players that we have in our dressing room. The experience, the leadership, the professionalism. The determination, the willingness to win. I mean, all of those things we've got in spades. So are we going to miss those attributes from the players you mentioned? Yes, we are. I think the world of all three of those players that you just named. But I do think that we're going to be able to move forward with a real good hockey team. We're, 14 forwards, 7 defensemen, 2 goaltenders. We're cap compliant. Putting Alex on IR puts us at 13 forwards. We've got real good NHL forwards. I talked about that last time. I really like some of the signings that we have in Henderson. If we go there, I think we've got real good options in terms of guys that can come up and play real well at the NHL level. So, again, these are all objectives that you have in the off season as you try to hand your team over to the coaches for training camp. And, I believe we're in a pretty good spot, which is where we want to be. And that's no disrespect to the people that are moving on.
We'll go back to Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun. Go ahead, Justin.
Hey, Kelly, do you have an update on new contracts for Nolan Patrick and Dylan Coughlin? And with that, do you expect the team that you have right now to be the team that you go in to opening night with?
We'll get to work on our restricted free agents. We only have 2, as you mentioned, Nolan Patrick, Dylan Coughlin. And, again, there's a sequence of events as you go through the off season. That's where our attention will go to now. We've done a little bit more work with our American Hockey League team. tidying up that roster. We'll get to the restricted free agents right away, and hopefully get that taken care of. And I think what you're going to see across the NHL is that it'll get pretty quiet probably for the month of August, and even maybe the first week of September. You can't say that there won't be a move. I know the other day I said that we didn't anticipate any more moves. I guess I meant to be more clear in my own mind what I was trying to, the point I was trying to make to the people on the call. We wouldn't be adding anyone, and obviously a day later we made the move with Ryan. But what I was trying to sort of speak to was there wouldn't be more players coming in. So where we are now, I would say we're going to go into training camp with this roster, and yet, any general manager in the National Hockey League will tell you that anything can change with a phone call, right? So, we're pleased with what we were able to get done in the month of July, and really excited about getting ready for training camp with this group.
Our final question, we'll go back to David Shane of the Review Journal. David, go ahead.
Actually, I was just more curious about this than anything. Are all your assistant coaches under contract for next year, or are there going to be any changes on that staff?
The staff is intact from last year, David. This is the same staff.
We'll leave it there. General Manager Kelly McCrimmon, thanks so much for your time today. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.